Yeah, so we've got some news from Whole Foods in Connecticut. We were all excited about a year ago when Whole Foods announced they were going to be coming to Old Saybrook, coming to the Connecticut shoreline. In fact, I was so excited, I even invested in a home there in downtown Old Saybrook. And then the plans went away. Old Saybrook developer was not able to come to terms with the for the Whole Foods location. But now it looks like Chaz, Rhode Island developer, submits a new plan for this Old Saybrook Whole Foods. What do we got?
So he has actually got his first public commission meeting on August 17th. So the plan is to take the Benny's, formerly Benny's, and turn it into a 40,000 square foot Whole Foods, as well as redo the exterior of the building and make it look like a traditional Whole Foods, and also reconfigure the adjacent retail spaces in there. So one of the things that they need to work around is obviously the Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Commission. But if the plan for the high-end supermarket gets the necessary approvals from the town, it would take 14 to 16 months to complete the renovations and additions to existing buildings. It would cost about $16 million to complete, according to the application now before the commission.
I think this is a great thing for Old Saybrook. There's sounds like there's going to be a $16 million investment coming into the town with a nationally known brand that people love. And you're going to draw people from other towns. You know, think about people driving from East Haddam and Essex, from Lyme, from Old Lyme, from East Lyme, from Guilford to Madison to Clinton to Killingworth. All of these towns are going to be driving into Old Saybrook. Some of them do already for some of the great shopping in Saybrook for sure, but this will be another reason to do so, to visit Whole Foods. The commission's first public hearing on the new Whole Foods application is scheduled for August 17th. I'd love for you to, maybe go onto our YouTube, let us know what you think about this Whole Foods application for Old Saybrook. Would you want it in Old Saybrook? Would you visit it as well? And so I'd love to see this happen. It was one of the reasons that I bought my home in Old Saybrook, because I'm like, I know the numbers when there's when you own a home a mile within a Starbucks or within a couple miles of a Whole Foods, the data is clear on this, guys. It's your home value goes up when you own a property within a couple minutes of these types of locations, because people love the convenience to the brands that they want to shop at. And so hopefully this happens. Chaz, you should go cover the story on August 17th, the commission's first public hearing. It's going to be in a few days. You should go.
I'll show up to the meeting, and I'm going to be one of those people who does show up and say that the Carpinato group, who is submitting the bid, they've got a track record. They're responsible for the Whole Foods at Avon Village Center that opened in September 21. So they have a history of going into a location, developing out the Whole Foods, and turning it into something really special. And another interesting point, this would be the chain's first store on the shoreline east of New Haven. So they've got 10 Connecticut stores with additional locations under construction in the Evergreen Walk Retail Complex, in South Windsor, and on High Ridge Road in Stamford. And the other thing is that Carl Fortuna, the first selectman of Old Saybrook, he is on board with it. So it's really just about getting through all of those steps with the Wetlands Commission and the Zoning Commission. But I agree with you, having grown up in Old Saybrook, an addition like this would just elevate that town to the next level in a number of different ways.
The Carpinato officials have not responded to inquiries from Hearst Connecticut Media, which is CT Insider. If you want to respond to us, we'd be happy to have you on the show and pump some awareness about your plans to bring Whole Foods to Old Saybrook, Connecticut. You're always welcome here on Real Estate Radio to have the conversation, as well as Carl Fortuna, the first selectman of Old Saybrook. Love to see this. There was some concerns, I guess, about how close the store would be to the road, as well as the impact the project would have on wetlands that are so close to the property. I mean, that Benny's is an existing, property. It's not.
That's a big parking lot.
It's a big parking lot. It's not like the most attractive site that in Old Saybrook. Just, I'm not putting Benny's down. Poor Ben, but
he had a good run. He was there over 2 decades.
Shout out Benny's. But I used to love Benny's as a kid. But if you drive by that, it looks like it's got a little wear and tear on it, I'd say. Just a little bit.
But what still goes strong in that plaza is Alforno's.
Oh, you're a big Alforno's guy.
I'm personally not, but I tell you what, for where it's located in terms of Connecticut, and for a Friday night, that place will be packed. I'm more.
I'm actually a little disappointed. The restaurant that decided to. Did you hear any news on that? The
no follow
Italian
yet.
market.
Yeah, no follow up yet.
So the Italian market, Grano's in Old Saybrook, was fantastic all summer, and then they just abruptly shut down. I hope everything's all right. They own the restaurant Gorgano's in Chester. They made it sound like everything was all right in their announcement. They're going to continue to operate in Chester, which that restaurant's tremendous. It's a fabulous restaurant as well. But I thought every time I went in Saybrook, it seemed like there was a good amount of people there. And anyways, there you go. That's your news. Hopefully Whole Foods will come to Old Saybrook.